today we are going to see how we can define the rank of a matrix as well as how the rank of a matrix is associated to a system of equations and solving the system. So let's move on to the same. So before moving on to define the rank of a matrix, let's give a recap to what a matrix is. Definitely a matrix is an array which consists of some rows and some columns, and usually it is having an order. So if you are taking a general matrix, I am going to say that the matrix is having the order m over n, where m is the number of rows and n is the number of columns. So in this context, we are taking capital A to be the matrix here, and correspondingly it is having m rows and n columns, and the first row is notated as u1. It is nothing but a11, a12, etc. a1n, and the second row is notated as u2, which is a21, a22, etc. a2n, etc. And the mth row is notated as u suffix m, which is nothing but am1, am2, etc. amn. And also the columns are notated as v1, which is equal to a11, a21, etc. am1, v2, which is nothing but a12, a22, etc. am2, vn, which is nothing but a1n, a2n, etc. amn. And you can call these rows as row vectors of A, and the columns can be called column vectors of A. That is u1, u2, etc. um are called row vectors of A, and v1, v2, etc. vn are called column vectors of A. And correspondingly, we say that the matrix A is having the order m by n, or m over n. And you know that each row is having n elements, right? So you can think that the row vectors are belonging to Rn, right? Because they are n tuples, 1, 2, etc. n. This is having 1, 2, etc. n, and um is having 1, 2, etc. n coordinates. So each of them are elements inside Rn. So you can call for the rows u1, u2, etc. um, and say that they can be linearly independent or linearly dependent inside Rn. So as we have discussed about linear independent vectors and linearly dependent vectors in Rn, there is a possibility that these rows can be linearly independent or linearly dependent. Now let's just discuss what is the rank of a matrix. The rank of a matrix A, which is having the order m by n, is equal to the maximum number of linearly independent row vectors inside A. To read it once again, if A is a matrix of order m by n, rank of A is equal to the maximum number of linearly independent row vectors in A. Okay, so let's see how we can deal with it with an example. The example asks us to find the rank of A, which is equal to 1, 1, minus 1, 3, 2, minus 2, 6, 8, 3, 5, minus 7, 8. So call it u1, u2, u3. u1 is the first row, u2 is the second row, u3 is the third row, and you can identify that u1, u2, u3 will belong to R4. Okay, and as we have said, span of these three elements u1, u2, u3 in R4 can be taken, and that span is a subspace of R4. Okay, and such a subspace here is called as the row space of A. Row space of a matrix is nothing but the span of all the if you are taking the span of the three rows, we will get the row space of A. Now let's see whether U1, U2, U3 are linearly independent or dependent. For that we are going to use a technique. So the technique is nothing but row operations, which we had discussed in the earlier lecture. So you take the matrix 1, 1, minus 1, 3, 2, minus 2, 6, 8, 3, 5, minus 7, 8. Okay. And then you're going to transform it to a row reduced echelon form. Okay. So first row you have 1 as the first non-zero entry. So you are done with the first row. You need not change the first row. The second row, since you have the 1 here, you have to make this 2 and 3 to be zeros. So you need to think accordingly and do the row operation. So the row R2 is changed to minus 2R1 plus R2. So this is the minus 2R1. This is the R2. Then you add them both. You get 0, minus 4, 8, 2. So that's what you have written. You have to write in the second row. And the R3, the third row is nothing but minus 3R1 plus R3, which is nothing but when you solve for it, you get, see, minus 3R1 is nothing but minus 3, minus 3, 3, minus 9, and R3 is nothing but 3, 5, minus 7, 8. You add them both, you get the third row to be 0, 2, minus 4, and minus 1. Now that you have obtained the second row like this, you have to make the first non-zero element of the second row to be 1. So you have to divide all throughout by minus 4, or you can just divide, because since you see the second row that minus 2 is a common factor, you can divide it with minus 2. Let's see what happens. The second row. So when you're going to divide it with minus 2, you're going to get the second row 0, 2, minus 4 and minus 1. Okay. So that means you're getting the second row and the third row as the same. So what we are going to do is we are going to change the third row into the difference of the second row and the third row, that is minus R2 plus R3. That means the third row is changed to 0, 0, 0, 0, and the second row is like that. Okay. And then you can do one more step. The step is 1, 1, minus 1, 3, let it remain like that. The second row is changed to 0, 1, minus 2 and minus 1 by 2. Third row remains like 0, 0, 0, 0. So what we did here is nothing but R2 is changed to R2 by 2. So we are getting the row reduced echelon form here. Okay, so you can call those vectors V1, V2, V3, 0, 1, minus 2 and minus 1 by 2. Okay, so these are the new vectors we got in this new row reduced echelon form. So here you are having two non-zero row vectors in this matrix. See, this is a non-zero vector row and this is a non-zero row, and the third row is completely zero. So it is a zero row. So here the rank of A is equal to, you can call it, rank of A is equal to, this is something which you have to keep in mind. Rank of A is equal to the number of non-zero rows. Non-zero rows in the row reduced echelon form, and that is nothing but equal to the maximum number of linearly independent rows in A. So how you have to calculate rank of A? You know that the definition of rank of A is nothing but the maximum number of linearly independent rows in A. That can be calculated from the row reduced echelon form as the number of non-zero rows in the row reduced echelon form. And here that is nothing but 2, right? Here you have 2 non-zero rows. So this is how we find rank by using row reduced echelon form. Okay. And here you can say that the row space of A is equal to the span of U1, U2, U3. That was the first rows of A. And then after row reduction, you got the new rows which are V1, V2, V3, and V3 is nothing but all zeros. That means span of U1, U2, U3 is equal to span of V1, V2, V3, which is nothing but span of V1, V2, because V3 is just a zero row. Okay, that is the row space of A. So as to recap, if a matrix is row equivalent in the sense you are converting it to a row reduced echelon form B, then the row space of A is equal to the row space of B. Row space of B. B is the row reduced echelon form of A. And the second one is the non-zero rows of B forms a basis for the row space of A. Okay. And the rank of A is nothing but the number of non-zero rows in the row reduced echelon form of A, that is B. Okay, that's what we have just said. And to do the same thing, we are going to see the next example, which asks us to determine whether U1, U2, U3, where U1 is equal to the order triple 211, U2 is equal to order triple 030, U3 is equal to order triple 312 in R3 are linearly independent or not, or it is linearly, or the set is linearly dependent. So one method we know how to check the linear independence of vectors. What we do is we assume that C1 U1 plus C2 U2 plus C3 C3 U3 is equal to 0, and then prove that C1 C2 C3 all are zeros. That is one method. We are going to see another method of how to check whether these vectors are linearly independent or not. So you form a matrix out of these vectors, making U1, U2, U3 as the rows of A of that matrix. Okay, that is a 3 by 3 matrix. Then what you do is you are going to you form the row reduced echelon form of this matrix. So first what you do is you divide the first row by 2 so that you can make the first non-zero entry as 1, right? Okay, and rest of them remains the same. And then what you do is you have to make all the entries below that 1 zeros, right? So already you have a 0 there, so you have to make this as 0. For that you conveniently take the row operation like this. R3 is becoming minus R1 plus R3. So R3 becomes 0 minus 1 by 2, 1 by 2, right? Now R2 can be, the whole row can be divided by 3. So you get the second row changed to 0, 1, 0. Okay, and the third row can be changed using this 1 by using the row operation R3 if and only if R3 is changed to 1 by 2 R2 plus R3, and you're going to get like this. And then what you can do is you can do a dividing of the third row by 1 by 2, or multiply the third row by 2. So you get 0, 0, 1 as the third row. And totally in the row reduced echelon form of the matrix given, you have 3 non-zero rows. Okay. So that means the number of linearly independent rows in A is equal to the same, 3. So that means the rank of A is also 3. Okay. That is the maximum number of linearly independent rows. Okay, so that's how you approach how to determine whether three vectors in R3 are linearly independent or not, using another method, that is using the method of row reduction into echelon form. Okay, now you are going to solve the following system of equation, and in this solving we are going to use the row reduction into echelon form. Okay, you are given the system x1 plus x2 is equal to 1, 4x1 minus x2 is equal to minus 6, 2x1 minus 3x2 is equal to 8. So you are given a system. So you have to keep in mind something which we have to ponder upon in the next while we solve a system of equations. So if a system of equations has a solution, it is called consistent. Okay. If a system of equation has a solution, it is called consistent. If a system of equation does not have a solution, it is called inconsistent. So in order to check whether a system of equations has a solution, what we do is a system Ax is equal to B is consistent if and only if rank of the augmented matrix AB is equal to the rank of A. Okay, so what is hope that the system Ax plus B is not confusing for you, because if A is equal to the matrix M by N matrix which is sitting here, and X is equal to the column vector x1, x2, etc. xn, and B is equal to the column vector b1, b2, etc. bm, then Ax is equal to the matrix sitting here, okay, which is a system of equations having n unknowns x1, x2, xn, and m equations, and that is equal to B means each of the equation is simultaneously equal to b1, b2, etc. bm. So we are getting the system there. So this is actually a matrix form of a system Ax is equal to B. So a system is consistent when the augmented matrix rank of AB, augmented matrix has the rank same as the rank of A. So you have to keep that in mind. So for this, you are going to consider the augmented matrix of the system. The augmented matrix will be 1, 1, 1, 4 minus 1 minus 6, 2 minus 3, 8. Okay. And then you have 1 as the first non-zero entry in the first row. So we will make all the others 0. For that, you conveniently choose the row operations like R2 interchanging with R2 is changed to minus 4 R1 plus R2, R3 is changed to minus 2 R1 plus R3, and you obtain the second and the third row like this. And then you divide the second row with minus 5, and you get the second row changed to 0, 1, 2. And using that, the 1 sitting here in the second row, you are going to change this minus 5 into 0 using the row operation. R3 changes to 5 R2 plus R3. So you are going to get this, and at the end, what you get is 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 2, and 0, 0, 1 when you divide the third row by 16. So you can see here that the part here, okay, this is actually the part with respect to A, okay. So that means here rank of A is equal to the number of non-zero rows in the reduced form. So you have 2 non-zero rows, right? Number of non-zero rows in its row reduced echelon form, which is equal to 2. Okay. Now if you think about the augmented matrix is the whole of it, right? Okay, how many non-zero rows it has? The rank of the augmented matrix AB is equal to the number of non-zero rows in the row reduced echelon form, which is equal to 3. So here rank of AB is equal to 3. The augmented matrix AB is equal to 3, which is not equal to 2, which is equal to the rank of A. That means this system does not have a solution. We need not move into the further steps because this system will never have a solution. Okay. So that's a point you have to keep in mind. Now the next example is solve the system x1 plus 3x2 minus 2x3 is equal to minus 7, 4x1 plus x2 plus 3x3 is equal to 5, 2x1 minus 5x2 plus 7x3 is equal to 90. So you consider the augmented matrix, then you are going to reduce it to the echelon form. So you have 1 as the first entry, we are okay with it. You are going to make this 4 and 2 0. So you will change R2 to minus 4R1 plus R2, R3 to minus 2R1 plus R3. Okay, and you divide each of the second and the third row with minus 11 to obtain the rows like 0, 1, minus 1, minus 3 in both rows, and you're going to subtract the third row from the second row, change the third row like that, and you get the third row to be full zeros. Now you have the rank of A to be 2 and also the rank of augmented matrix AB to be equal to 2. Okay. So that means the system is consistent and has a solution. So we have to check for the solution. For that, what you do is you just convert the matrix form into the system of equations. So you have 1 into x1 plus 3 into x2 minus 2 into x3 is equal to minus 7. x2 minus x3 is equal to minus 3. So now you have a situation where you have to put a variable for one among x1, x2, x3. So here you know that x2 is equal to minus 3 plus x3. So you are going to just write x3 is equal to t, some arbitrary number. So x2 becomes x3 minus 3, that is equal to t minus 3. x1 on simplification you get it to be minus t plus 2. So at the end the solution what we get is x1 is equal to minus t plus 2, x2 is equal to t minus 3, x3 is equal to t. So we can choose any arbitrary value for t. That means we have or we can form infinite number of solutions for this system. Okay, and the earlier lecture we had dealt with had two questions. In the first question, you reduced the augmented matrix and ended up with the matrix sitting here, and you have to understand that here the rank of the augmented matrix was equal to 3 and the rank of A was also equal to 3. So then the system was consistent while we solved that question. Okay. Similarly, in the next question, it was a homogeneous system and the augmented matrix was converted to the echelon form, and there also the rank of the augmented matrix AB is equal to 2 and rank of A is also equal to 2. So the system is consistent and it had a solution. That's why we reached the solution for that, for those two examples. Now as of now, to summarize, we have something very important, and what we have at hand is, suppose you have a homogeneous system. So this homogeneous system can be written in the matrix format as capital A x is equal to the 0 matrix 0. That's why it is written in the bold form. Okay. Any homogeneous system is always consistent because putting x1, x2, etc., xn all equal to 0, that will form a solution for Ax is equal to 0. So always a homogeneous system is consistent. It has a solution. It has a solution. So there are two types of solution. One is that the rank of A is equal to n. Okay, rank of A is equal to n. Then it does have a unique solution, and the unique solution is nothing but x1 equal to 0, x2 equal to 0, etc. xn is equal to 0. That is the only solution. Only solution is this. Okay. And sometimes rank of A is strictly less than n. Here A is of the order m by n. Okay. So here the rank of A is strictly less than n. That means we will substitute arbitrary values for n minus r arbitrary variables. For instance, we can see the question just before. Okay, here we had the rank, both the rank to be equal to 0, rank to be equal to 2, and you have m to be equal to 3, right? So m minus r is equal to 3 minus r is nothing but the rank of A. Okay, so m, not m, it is n, right? So n is 3 and m is 3. N is equal to 3, so n minus r is equal to 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1. So we choose one variable and gave it an arbitrary value t. That's what which is being stated here. So in such case there will be infinite number of solutions. We saw in that question that we can choose any arbitrary value for t. For instance, you can choose t is equal to 0, t is equal to 1 by 2, t is equal to 1, t is equal to minus 100, anything you can take, and correspondingly you will get x1, x2, x3. So there will be infinite number of solutions. That's what which is being stated here. If the rank of A is strictly less than n, then we have to give values for n minus r arbitrary parameters in the solution. Now suppose we are taking a non-homogeneous system. Okay, so that means Ax is equal to B and B is not equal to 0. All of them are not equal to 0 in the RHS. So there are two possibilities. The possibilities are it can be consistent or it cannot be consistent, that is it can be inconsistent. So rank of A is equal to rank of augmented matrix AB will contribute the consistency. Rank of A is strictly less than rank of the augmented matrix will constitute the inconsistency. So if rank of A equal to rank of AB, we are having two conditions, two cases. The first case is that rank of A is equal to n. Okay, if so, you will have a unique solution. And the next possibility is rank of A is strictly less than n, then there will be infinite number of solutions. And then we have to assign values for n minus r arbitrary variables in the solution. So that's how you can summarize the consistency and inconsistency of a homogeneous and non-homogeneous system. So homogeneous system is always consistent. Non-homogeneous system, there are possibilities of consistency and inconsistency, and the consistent part is divided into two. Okay, you can see that below the consistency the cases for homogeneous and non-homogeneous are the same. So in order to study them and make it thorough, you can just associate them together and understand that in non-homogeneous system there are possibilities for inconsistency. So that's all we have to keep in mind about rank of a matrix, and let's see in the next video lecture. Thank you.